Joining us now to talk about this year's unfinished business is Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start with the minimum wage. Take a listen to your Democratic leaders today.
There is no greater challenge this country has than income inequality.
Republicans have worked with us to raise the minimum wage before. They need to do it again.
And that means when we come back here to make raising the minimum wage in America a high priority in the United States Senate, and I hope in the House of Representatives as well.
Sounds pretty good, but Senator, why doesn't Harry Reid just put this on the floor and keep the Senate open until he can break open a filibuster and get a vote here?
Well, I think he is going to do that. I think he is going to bring that up onto the floor as soon as we return, and I think it's exactly the right thing to do. Look, the middle class of this country is disappearing. We have more people living in poverty than any time in the history of the United States of America. Millions of people are working for longer hours, for lower wages. We have got to raise the minimum wage, which today is a starvation wage of $7.25 to at least $10.10 an hour.
Yeah, and as you and others have pointed out, it's also dropping in real dollars. So it's not even raising, sometimes puts the emphasis wrong. It's catching it back up to where it once was in terms of the actual real economy. Now, you also serve on the Budget Committee, and I want to read from your statement on the deal that we just reached. It attacked Republicans for hypocrisy on some of these savings, noting, quote, "My Republican colleagues continue to protect corporate loopholes, which are costing us $100 billion every single year." What are you and the Senate leadership looking to do about that?
Well, we've got legislation in that I hope that gets to the floor, which deals with the absurd reality that when we have a $17 trillion national debt, 1 out of 4 corporations in this country pay 0 in federal taxes.
Wow.
Because many of them are stashing their money in the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and other tax havens. So the idea that many of my Republican colleagues say, gee, we have to balance the budget. Let's cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, education, nutrition. Oh, but by the way, it is okay that 1 out of 4 major corporations pays nothing in federal taxes. That is totally absurd. That's not what the American people want to see.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. I don't mind them flying to the Caymans on a private jet and spending money there. I just think they shouldn't be able to leave all their money there and avoid the taxes that most people pay. That seems like common sense. I also want to get to something you may have heard us mention in the broadcast, which is voting rights. Some people may already know this, but long before you were even in politics, as a student, I know that you traveled to the March on Washington in 1963 to hear Martin Luther King speak. And after this Supreme Court decision, which of course limited a part of the Voting Rights Act, a lot of senators, a lot of your colleagues said, look, they wanted to pass a bill to renew the law. And I got to tell you, I haven't seen a lot of action from the Democrats here. Why aren't your Senate Democratic colleagues bringing that issue to the floor?
Well, that is a good question. It should be brought up, and I hope that it will be brought up. Whether it could ever get past the right-wing extremists who control the House, I have my doubts. But right now...
But that shouldn't be... But, Senator, have you talked to Harry Reid or Dick Durbin or Schumer about this? I mean, that shouldn't hold up. The House is a separate body, and it's the lower body.
You're absolutely right. It is an issue that we should deal with. Our Republican friends are too cowardly in many respects to have fair elections. And the only way they're going to win, as they understand it, is to deny lower-income people, people of color, older people from the right to vote by making it harder and harder for those people to participate in the democratic process. You're absolutely right. This is an issue. We need to get onto the floor. We need to pass it.
Yeah, well, and I know it's been one that's important to you for a long time, and I appreciate your straight answer on it. We had a Republican House member on earlier who wouldn't say whether Boehner should supply the vote, and it's something we're going to stay on top of. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And stay with us. The day's most fascinating top lines are coming up.
Does your husband want you